I had been avoiding sketching for some time as I felt like sketching and drawing practice had left me quite unsatisfied in the past. That was until I implemented these tips that have helped me fall in love with sketching again, which makes me do it more often, which is helping me improve my skills. So here are the 5 tips that have helped me with having fun with sketching again. Tip number 1. Do an initial sketch in marker to break through perfectionism. So I use alcohol markers and coloured pencils for these sketches, and essentially I go in with the marker first and sketch a very rough basic shape, rendering it in a way that I leave some white for the highlights but overall quite flat. This initial stage is just 2 basic values, white and the marker colour. These initial alcohol marker sketches aren't very pretty, they aren't in perfect proportion at first, but what it really does is help me break through that overly detailed mindset that I can have when I sketch, which makes me zoom into the tiny details really quickly, which can lead me to overcomplicate and abandon the sketch because I don't get the basics right. Going in with the marker first is a great way of breaking any kind of fear or hesitation or perfectionism around sketching something. Once I've refined that initial marker sketch, I go in with a colour pencil and I start making lines and shapes. And having the marker on the page really serves as a great guide, but I don't have to stick to it or keep to it perfectly within the marker shape. I really am looking at my reference and sketching it, but just having that guide with the alcohol marker already there. And with the same colour pencil, I'm adding variations in value from light to dark, so I'm able to give more dimension to the sketch. Because the marker I choose is very light in value, it's okay if I made mistakes or redefine the lines with pencil and they're slightly different than the marker outline because it's so light you can't really see it, and I think it adds to the sketchy vibe of it all. Choose subjects that excite you, not what you think you should draw. So if you've seen my paintings and illustrations, you've probably never seen me do fashion sketches before, but sketching fashion and moving figures has always really intrigued me because I love figuring out how to represent the different textures and movement, and I've always loved looking at fashion illustrations, so I decided to start with doing these as sketching exercises. I think sometimes we can limit ourselves a lot with what we think we should do based on what we've already done, and there is nothing more limiting than thinking of shoulds and shouldn'ts in your art, and I guess in life in general. But remember that you're the artist and you can decide what you want to do and what you're drawn to doing, and in fact you should follow that gut instinct even if it's something that you haven't done before. And that's exactly what I did here, despite never having really shown any inclination towards doing fashion art. And while I sketch, I want to share with you that today's video is sponsored by Ana Luisa. They sent me these beautiful pieces, this charm necklace which I love and has the cutest charms on it. I've wanted a charm necklace for a while, and this one is so pretty and dainty and also has cherries and butterflies, which I illustrate a lot. And then these double hoop earrings which make it look like I have my ears double pierced, which I love. And they also have this really gorgeous little green gemstone. I've had several Ana Luisa pieces for over a year now and they still look perfect, which goes to show their quality, and they haven't tarnished at all. I also love that I can mix and match the jewellery and it all looks so good together because it has the same gold finish. You can check out my jewellery pics in my description box below, and thank you again Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. You don't need to learn the fundamentals of sketching. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. Obviously, learning the rules and fundamentals of sketching is a wonderful thing, and I'm not advocating for not learning this, but hear me out. I began sketching these fashion models on the runway, and I have not really done much figure sketching before. I don't know about proportions or fundamentals of figure sketching, and of course I could really benefit from that. These aren't perfect by any means, but it felt like it was another thing on my to-do list that would just delay me from actually doing the damn thing. So I know I'll get to a point where I really want to learn how to figure sketch and the dimensions and the different poses and approaches on getting that accurate. But starting there was a really overwhelming thought to me when I just wanted to sketch this really cool image that I saw and was inspired by. What I'm trying to say is that if you see a beautiful image or you're called to sketch something you see around you, even if you don't have the perfect skills to do it, just do it. I see this a lot also in portraiture. When I began doing portraits, I didn't know the fundamentals or the different approaches to building a face. But as I did more portraits, I got more curious about how to learn how to build a face more accurately. So then that prompted me to seek out the different approaches that I could do in order to represent the face more accurately. So I guess I'm compelled to say, don't feel you need to start with the fundamentals of something before actually going for it. Following your gut and being called and curious to learn more because you're enjoying doing something so much, or maybe you're feeling frustrated that you're loving drawing a certain thing but you feel like your skill is limited. That's what prompts you to actually go and learn, not the feeling that you should first learn the fundamentals and then do the art you want to do. I guess what I'm saying is, like, go for it first, and then as your curiosity develops, you will eventually learn the basics and the rules and all of that. Sketching doesn't have to be done with a pencil. Add colour. As I'm showing here, sketching doesn't have to be done in a graphite pencil. I really love colour, and so this combination of coloured pencils and markers really visually satisfies me, and right now I'm not really interested in graphite pencil sketches. Maybe I will be tomorrow or next year, but right now I just want to fill these pages with colour. And I'm not looking to create super rendered drawings. Like, I still want to do these relatively quickly so I can practice a lot. So I like sticking to the monochromatic scheme. But I think using sketching medium and colours that you're drawn to really brings a lot more joy to the process and satisfaction with the end result. Maybe you're drawn to pen sketches or perhaps chalk or oil pastels, but know that you don't need to stick to black and white or grey and white when you are doing practice sketches. Put a time limit on your sketching. Sketching is not meant to create masterpieces. It's really about developing skills, having fun, and ideating different things or images you may want to explore further with other mediums. The more you do it, the better you get, but also the more you do different sketches, the better you'll get, because you are keeping doing things over and over, and the repetition helps. So putting time limits on how much you spend on one sketch is only a good thing, and it's going to help you feel looser and create with less fear of perfectionism, and it's going to help you feel like your art is less precious, which is going to help you be more free and experiment more. For me, anything over 30 minutes on a sketch is too long because, as I said, I'm not trying to create a masterpiece. I'm trying to practice something, figure out how to do that texture or how to achieve movement. So going more than 30 minutes on a sketch is just unsustainable and not really what I'm aiming for sketching to do for my art practice. I hope these tips are helpful and take them as you wish. They've certainly helped me so much in having fun again while sketching. So if that's your goal with sketching, then I think you'll really benefit from these. And please do share in the comments any tips that have helped you in your sketching practice. And thanks again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!